Hey folks, Shotgun Wasabi here. Excuse my voice, I'm coming down with something that looks like, but hasn't stopped me from enjoying my time with the Beyond Light expansion here. And of course, I'm sure there's quite a few people that are playing around with the stasis classes. And I will say off the bat, I think it's a bit OP, and I'm sure Bungie's gonna tune it down a bit. But what I want to do today is kind of go over a build that I have, and I'm having fun with it both in PvE and PvP. So the whole point of this build is to exploit the neutral game for the Shadebinder stasis class. It has a fantastic neutral game, especially with the grenades and the melee being able to freeze opponents. What I like to use is actually the dust field grenade. I don't have the cold snap grenade quite yet. I do have it on my Titan, but I ended up working on my Warlock second. The glacier grenade is also a fantastic grenade, but in particular I like the dust field because it pretty much pulls all the enemies in there, and if they sit in there too long, they actually freeze, and then you can shatter them as well. So there are advantages of using the dust field versus the glacier, and also the cold snap, but I'm still working on that quest to get that. And what makes this neutral game so much better is this aspect of ice flare bolts. This takes the freezing effect from the melee and the grenades to another level. Here, shattering a frozen target spawns seekers that track and freeze other nearby targets. What this allows you to do is basically chain the freezing effect on all the adds or opponents. It's a little bit OP, and I have a feeling they'll probably tune this down a little bit. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Now, as you progress in the game, you'll get to a point where you can modify your subclass even further by adding fragments. Now, the Stranger will have some different options. These are the two that I have picked. This one, slow from your abilities lasts longer. For those abilities that linger, their duration will also increase. Also gives you a +10 in strength. Here, shattering a stasis crystal temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate. Shattering additional stasis crystals increases the duration of this benefit. And +10 to resilience. Now, the reason why I picked these two was I wanted to play around with the slow ability, but what I really wanted to do is kind of abuse the grenade recharge rate. Since the neutral game for the stasis subclasses are so strong, I wanted to pretty much abuse that, or take advantage of that fact. Going back to an old exotic like Verity's Brow, and for the newbies, the fourth magic. Energy weapon kills grant death throws, which provides a bonus to the damage of your grenades and grants you grenade energy. Much like a kill clip for grenades. You can stack it up to 5 times too. And the added benefit is when you have death throws and throw grenade, nearby allies gain greatly increased grenade regeneration for a short time. So there's a great fire team synergy as well for this. So by pairing up Verity's Brow with a strong neutral game of the Shadebinder, you get the chance to exploit the grenades in this build as much as possible. The important thing is you have to have the right energy weapon. You can pick anything you want to use, but for this build, I wanted to kind of toss in some seasonal mods from the previous seasons and to throw in the Warmine cells. Now, the reason why I wanted to start using Warmine cells is because Bungie recently, with this season, neutralized basically those raid mods. And I used to use those raid mods a lot for just farming the strikes and nightfalls. To use the Warmine cells, you're going to need an Aquilos weapon. Here I actually picked the SMG, the Aquilos SMG. It's a fantastic PvE and also a pretty decent PvP weapon. Mine in particular has Demolitionist. For those who don't know, it's kills with this weapon can generate grenade energy. Activating your grenade ability reloads this weapon from reserves. And here I've got additional dynamic sway reduction, accurized rounds, and a masterwork of range. Of course, you want a weapon with Demolitionist, and since I want to use Warmine cells, of course it's best when it's on an SMG. There are other weapons as well. You can use other Aquilos weapons, but you want it in the energy slot since you want to use the Verity's Brow. So with this combo, I'm generating Warmine cells, I'm getting grenade energy back, and I'm basically using the Shadebinder and abusing the grenades and the freeze aspect. And also with this fragment here, when you shatter, you also increase your grenade recharge rate as well. For the artifact, I went with 2 mods here that'll also help with this build. You've got Surge Eater here. Recharge your grenade ability whenever you or a member of your fire team disrupts a champion. So again, you can get your grenade ability real quick. And also Thermal Overload. Here you have solar and stasis grenades cause disruption, delaying ability regeneration, and lowering combatant damage output. Again, another great PvE mod. Now looking over my weapons, as I said, for your energy weapon, pick a decent energy weapon you're happy with or you want to use. Sunshot's a great weapon as well. That kills ads very quickly. But since I'm using Warmine Sound, you need an Aquilos weapon, and the submachine gun fits that build very nicely. Primary, you can use whatever you want. Right now I'm on a binge with No Time to Explain. I finally got the Catalyst done. It was a bit of a chore, but it's fun to use in Crucible and in PvE. And for your heavy weapon, use whatever you want. If you can get a weapon with Demolitionist on it, it's going to help with the build as well. Ideally, you want Demolitionist to kind of synergize with the Verity's Brow again. Just briefly going over my armor pieces here and the type of mods I have here. When a Warmine cell drops, I have Warmine's Protection. So this reduces damage from enemies that are near Warmine cells. This is only in PvE, but you can use it and mix up anything you want. Also on the gloves I have, I'm going to use Taking Charge with high energy fire. I put that on my class item. And one of the new mods here, grants ability energy when you damage a combatant with a grenade. Since you're going to be pretty much on a grenade heavy build here, it's advantageous to kind of use these type of mods here. And just going over here, another Warmine cell. Here, destroying a Warmine cell creates a burst of solar energy that causes enemies to burn for several seconds. Again, you can tailor it to however you want. What I do like about this new season is the armor pieces have that additional mod slot. So before you couldn't put anything on the exotics. Now that you can, it frees you up to actually add additional stuff, which is pretty cool. If you want to mix it up, instead of putting high energy fire here, I'd recommend using maybe the class item. And we do have Bomber. They've gotten rid of the enhanced Bomber, but you can put on Bomber on here, and then just kind of whenever you pop a rift, increases your grenade energy. You have 2 bombers, it's pretty much a third of your energy, which is kind of cool. And again, that kind of complements wanting to get that grenade energy as high as possible. For the stats, I've of course put most of it into discipline, just in case if there's no ads to kill to increase your grenade energy. And at tier 10, 53 seconds is pretty decent. One of the things I like with this season is they modified how armor slots are done. Yeah, it kind of sucks that they took away the raid mods, that for that fact that you can't use them other than in the raids. But for convenience sake, it makes it a lot easier for kind of moving mods around. Especially like the fact that they made traction only cost 0. So all it does is take a slot up, but at least doesn't cost you any points to use it. So it makes it a lot easier to add more to your boots here. Alright, that's it for the video. I'll be sure to make some more videos as I progress. I'm still trying to power level up my characters. From my understanding, they kind of nixed trials for a while, so I can focus now on kind of power leveling the characters some more. But once I do, I'll start putting on some more build videos. I'm having a lot of fun playing around with the stasis stuff, but I'm going to tell you, I'm sure Bungie's going to nerf the heck out of this Shadebinder, just for the fact it's a bit OP, I think. And that's pretty much it, folks. If you liked the video, of course, do the YouTube thing. Like, subscribe, and share the video. We'll Sabi out.